Hey guys, welcome to the next episode of the Stash Report from the Stash Project. Today is the 20th of May, 2016. For some reason I wanted to say February. Maybe it's just because the weather has been February-ish here recently. It wasn't beginning of last week, or no, I should say the end of last week, beginning of this week. We actually had immeasurable snowfall out at the International Airport here in Pittsburgh. It was the 15th, I think it was. So that was last Saturday after we filmed or last Sunday, I guess I should say, after we filmed the last episode. So we've got some kit releases that have come out here. One actually a surprise, not a surprise in the sense that we didn't know about it, but a surprise in the sense that it wasn't supposed to come out till September, and it showed up this week. And that's pretty much it. There really isn't a lot flowing beyond that. I realized we didn't do decal news this week, or this month. Studio 27 did a set of rally decals for the Fujimi, the little Auto Bianchi A112. Again, that'll be the third set of decals for that car. And they also did a set of decals for the Revell of Germany, or technically I suppose you get it here as a Revell US kit as the Rabbit, but the Revell of Germany first-gen Volkswagen Golf GTI also is a rally car in the Jägermeister livery. So if you happen to have a penchant for Jägermeister, I know there must be one out there because of the number of things that there are Jägermeister liveries for. There's, of course, the Porsche 934, the old Tamiya 6 Series BMW had a Jägermeister logo, the Revell of Germany Samba bus, or not the Samba bus, but the T1 transport van, which is based on the Samba bus, the panel version of the Samba bus, basically, that has a Jägermeister logo to it. There are numerous Jägermeister logos to put onto other vehicles through aftermarket, so it's obviously a popular way to pass out as a 20-year-old, but beyond that, obviously a popular livery in race cars in general. So if you want to do a rally version of the Volkswagen Golf, those decals are out there, should be out there into retailers by the time you guys see this. And then for the end of May, Studio 27 is going to be getting into the Mark I Escort, the first-gen Escort. Of course, that would be the new Bell Kits Rally Escort. Of interest is one of the sets of decals is for the 1968 Alan Mann Racing team, and I believe, unless they did a rally version of that car, that is a British touring saloon race team. So that is a non-rally version. So it'll be interesting to see if there's. I'm sure somebody at some point is planning to do the trans kit to make it into a regular roundy, well, not so much a circle track, but a roundy round race car. And then they're also doing two sets of rally decals. One will be the Calibri Lighter 74 Rack Rally decals, the ones that I already have from Rege Model. They're going to be doing their set of that, and they're also doing a set for the 1974 Thousand Lakes Rally, which is in Finland. There's two different cars to that. It'd be interesting to see if they do one decal sheet for both cars, because one of those is a Timo Mäkinen car, and then I can't think of who the other guy is that raced the other one. I looked it up. I honestly did. But that knowledge has left my brain as I've been fighting the decals on the BMW that I'm working on the bench, which is, to say nothing new there. That's I expected the Microsol Microset battle with these decals, because I already decaled half the car, and I've just been putting off decal in the final half and gluing the mirrors on, because really that's all I need to do, get it done, and I should do a regular video of it. But it's plugging along with the duration that I expected as far as getting things to wrap around multiple surfaces. That's always a good time. People who are on our Stash Project Facebook page knew that I posted a thing about smelling Microsol in the morning yesterday. So, or not yesterday, yes. Well, okay. The cat's out of the bag with that one. I'm not going to edit it out. It's Sunday when I'm recording this video. I just haven't had time. But yeah, so I've been spending the entire weekend doing that. So, at any rate, guys, we have some kit releases domestically, as well as, of course, the foreign stuff that you would expect domestically. Here, Round 2 has reissued this. These are the Yamaha 125. However, don't call them Yamahas because there's no decals or markings for that. They're just motorcycles and accessories, double dirt bikes. This is, of course, in a parts pack type deal here. These were the motorcycles that were originally in the late 1970s Dodge pickup trucks, and at this point are the only original surviving tooling from those kits. A lot of people have been saying they should have released the pickup trucks too. If you know your Dodge pickup truck history from the era, you know that the pickups became a combination of the Little Red Wagon as well as the monster truck, the MPC monster truck. Several MPC pickup trucks that were once factory stock have met that fate over time. The Datsun pickup truck became a monster truck. The Chevy trucks became a monster truck, as well as the Dodge. So they can't re-release the pickup truck itself because it doesn't exist in a singular form anymore. It was modified too many times. But the tooling for the little dirt bikes apparently still exists. So you get 2 sprues in here, and that is enough to make two entire motorcycles. So you do get 2. You're not looking at it going, it looks like there's, what do you glue the 2 halves together there? No, it's actually 2 entirely separate motorcycles kits. So that's kind of neat. For the price and to have, laying around, I guess. They're not going to make the most accurate dirt bikes in the world. They're not a whole heck of a lot of parts to work with there. There were, little accessories that were thrown into a kit sort of as an afterthought to get it to sell better. But they'll make, a fairly decent sort of diorama type idea. If there aren't a whole heck of a lot of 1/24th, 1/25th scale motorcycles to begin with, most of them tend to be racing motorcycles that exist from Hasegawa and stuff like that. So, if you wanted to do a garage type setting, this is a much cheaper than trying to find an original kit, especially, but a much cheaper way of going around trying to get some background debris, if you will. Now you got a couple of dirt bikes. Out of Revell, the only automotive kit released this month, and this is the Fast and the Furious branded 1969 Chevy Camaro Yenko edition. This is just a straight reissue of the Yenko kit. There's nothing new about this at all, other than I'm sure there'll be a new set of decals in here, or a fresh set, I should say, not so much new. But the wheels have always been in the Yenko kit, and there's nothing new about it. It's 107 pieces, so there's nothing added to it. I will go be picking one of these up just for the fact that it's the only 69 Camaro kit I don't have. So I have been slowly acquiring all of them as they sort of bounce in and out of production. I've had the Camaro RS basically ever since the kit series, since they started it. I have an original 89 Revell boxing, and then I have the Camaro, and I have the Baldwin Motion car, but I don't have the Yenko one. So I'm happy to see this back, only to make it easier to find. Like I said, there's nothing new about it. There's nothing, anything about it, just in a different box. Some people will be, of course, complaining about the fact that it's being reissued and nothing's new about it, but the Fast and the Furious marketing has been doing really well for Revell in terms of sales. They'll sell this kit to a number of people who will never, ever even crack the shrink wrap, just because it's a piece of movie memorabilia at this point. Round 2 sort of figured this out a while ago, that you can sell the same old in a brand new box, just in general, of course, but especially when it's attached to a movie or a TV show. And then moving overseas, there's been a few reissues from Aoshima and Fujimi, and pretty much everybody but Tamiya. Fujimi finally got this out. This is the Car Easy model, which makes it molded in color, and then there's just vinyl stickers, sort of like the Revell Wheels of Fire type stickers. For this is the Kumamon version of the Mini Cooper. This was done as some sort of weird gag for the 100th anniversary of Mini Cooper and sales in Japan. Fujimi also did a model kit, by the way, if you care. It's a non-scale, meaning it's not 1/25th or anything like that. It's just a figure kit, basically, of the little smiling bear. It's not a panda, because pandas have white bellies, but whatever this bear is supposed to be, They made an actual model kit of the bear here recently. It's not really a figure; it's more of a model kit, because figures tend to be, like a solid one piece you might glue the head and arms onto. This is more of an injected plastic type deal. But this is just a reissue of the standard Mini Cooper, or the new Mini Cooper, depending on how you look at it. Of course, the BMW manufactured one. The actual Kuminen version is a convertible. This is not. I was kind of wondering maybe if this was why this was so late, was they were actually going to really do the right thing and make a convertible for it. Because even though I have no desire to make a Kuminen version, I might have actually bought it if it was a convertible one, because that would have been cool to have around. But no, they did not. They just threw it on their existing kit, which makes sense for what it is, because it's sort of an introductory kit designed towards the idea of not needing paint. This is a glue kit. That's why there's sort of the Mr. Hobby glue in the background there, but you don't need paint, allegedly speaking. And it is, like I said, it's otherwise just a reissue of the existing kit, although this is a reissue of the right-hand drive kit. The actual Mini Cooper kits that Fujimi makes are left-hand drive, because the car is, for the most part, that way in terms of its production, because most of them got sold here in the United States to a great extent. Of course, there are numbers in Europe, but in Europe, only England drives on the quote-unquote wrong side of the road. So the majority of these things are left-hand drive in real life, and if you go get other versions of this kit, there's a John Cooper Works version of the new Mini. There's also just a regular new Mini, which is what this is, just without the stickers. Then, of course, that has a left-hand drive dashboard in it as well. The only thing about this kit that's kind of interesting is that they molded the roof. Two of them. You get one that's in black and one that's in white. I guess that's in case you didn't want to build the Kuminen version, or you didn't want the offsetting color roof. I don't know. But be that as it may, it was supposed to come out in March. Now it's finally out in May. So that's finally here. Hasegawa's reissued this. This is the Mazda Cosmo Sport Marathon de Route, which is the 84 Hours of Nuremberg race back in the late 60s. This was the first race, I should say, that the Mazda Cosmo Sport entered. I wasn't expected to make any kind of noise or even finish, and it ended up finishing fourth. So performed exceptionally well, and proved that Mazda could build a sports car that could contend with anybody, at least in endurance racing. Let's see. Fujimi has reissued this. Also Fujimi, I should say. I forgot these were on here. Also from Fujimi. These are this month's. These are May reissues. This is the McLaren MP4 27, back when it was still Mercedes. This is the 2012 Australia Grand Prix winning kit. And then they also reissued this. Whoops, that's not that. This. The Ferrari F2012, which of course is a 2012, representing the Malaysia Grand Prix winner. This, of course, we've talked about this several times when the kit was introduced in our monthly compilation video, and here one more time. This allows you to build the winning cars for the 2012 F1 Series, the first race of the season, and the second race of the season. Both of these kits, or at least this kit, the Ferrari, is a full detail kit. It's 150 pieces. I'm not totally sure on the McLaren if you get an engine in it or not. I didn't bother to look because it's not my deal, the F1 stuff. So, go do your research on it if you want to go buy that, but it's out. Aoshima reissued 3 kits so far out of my mouse pointer is just not working today. My computer upgraded to Windows 10, and it doesn't like it, I guess. But Aoshima has reissued here. This is the FD3S RX-7 in the Type GTC A spec. Sort of a tune. That's sort of a beyond factory tuner, because the A spec is a factory way the car is built. But I don't think the GTC type was actually a factory car. So it's a little tuner RX-7, curbside, only right-hand drive. They're also reissuing these. These, of course, the always popular Initial D Toyota Trunos. This is the Project D version. This will be the second of the 3 kits as far as how they came out in the series. This includes several optional engine parts. And then this, which is the one I always recommend, is the Volume 37 Comics version, which has all of the pieces from all of the kits. You can build the car anyway from a just factory stock Toyota Truno all the way up to a full-on race car. This has more engine parts. This has a racing interior, has a racing seat, racing wheel, racing wheel, but a racing steering wheel, as well as roll caging that the Project 37 does not, or the Project D rather does not. So you really have every way you can build it tied up in this kit right here, which is pretty good value for it being only like $25. You do get quite a, there's at least what, two sets of exhaust, 3 intakes, the open cam, timing chain style thing, and all sorts of neat little doodads in it. So if you're interested in a Toyota Truno with an engine insert to it, I always say this is the one to get. And then last but not least, this is the latest out of Ebro, the third version of their MP430 Honda McLaren. This being done up as the 2015 Japan Grand Prix version. You'll, of course, need to somehow, I don't know if Taboo is going to do a decal sheet specifically for this car, if the other decal sheets they've already done will provide the missing Johnny Walker logos. But this, of course, will be missing its liquor sponsorship, and then I also don't know if anyone's going to be creating a separate carbon fiber decal set for it, because the early version and the late version do have separate decal sheets from Studio 27. But what is new about this is the way the front spoiler area attaches. This has a short nose, whereas the original kit has a longer nose version. They started running this nose something like the 9th round of the F1 season, and it did diddly squat to help really. I guess, well, technically they did podium a couple of times and get a couple of points after this short nose was put on the front, but really their entire 2015 season really stunk on ice. Ask anybody who's an actual F1 fan. This is a 1/20 scale kit, and like I said, it's the third variation of the MP430 tooling. So that is what we got for this week. We, of course, have many more new kits to come out of, many more new kits. One more kit that's actually going to have any modifications to it. Everything else is just straight reissues, but many more reissues to come this month. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend, and I guess that's pretty much it. I need to go take a nap for work, and it's sort of just sitting there going, go to bed, get up. I can't remember anything else I had to say. Good night. See you guys on the other side.